Hey guys, I just wanted to do my reaction video to the Supergirl Season 4 premiere, American Alien. So, you saw in the last Season 3 finale, which was, even though the pacing was totally off, kind of ironically just borrowed a lot of elements from Flash, Seasons 3 and 2 and 3. With Kara going, Barry going back in time to save his mom. It's this case, Kara going back through a wormhole in time to save the legion of superheroes and her own teammates from being killed by Rain because of the fact she tried to throw her into some kind of pit where she was burning alive, but her heat vision was killing everybody, and the fight between her and Rain caused the Legion ship to crash and to explode. She went back in time and saved them, and instead of trying to kill Rain, she used I don't remember what it was called. It was essentially the Black Kryptonite to have Rain and Sam remerge into one being. They went to that weird shadow dimension, and apparently she was just taken away by discount time wraiths or demons that kind of resembled time wraiths from the Flash. So it's kind of had this almost the same fate as Doom. And basically, Sam was essentially, rid herself of her evil alter ego and moved away with Ruby to, start a new life. It's crazy as it sounds, but the side effect was that the Black Kryptonite created a doppelganger of Kara, which reappeared in Russia, in Siberia, and it's hinted that they're going to do their take on the Superman Red Sun storyline. I don't know how much we're going to be seeing of the Kara doppelganger, because they kept saying they were going to have all these different villains like Agent Liberty and Manchester Black. So I don't know. So I'm kind of worried that they don't fall into have the same pitfalls as season 2, where they had multiple villains and they kept jumping back and forth with. There was no clear idea of who was the true main antagonist. Kind of like in season 2, they jumped back and forth between the Daxamites and Lena Luthor and Katniss. So I kind of hope that maybe there's a clear villain. There's a clear big bad, and the other ones are maybe just side recurring villains, kind of like how Captain Cold and Amunet Black were on The Flash. Anyway, we're going to finally check out this episode, go with an open mind, and see what it has to offer.
Thank you,
Supergirl landing!
You're welcome!
Salvaste el Velázquez. Gracias, Supergirl.
De nada.
Having a nice Easter egg.
Drinking Danvers?
Let's dance. Again.
Director Danvers, President Marsden is arriving for her yearly visit.
When?
Now.
Wow, Madam President, what a surprise.
Off-world on Argo, your team and Supergirl have been doing a tremendous job keeping this planet safe. And I also wanted to say that I think that John Jones made a very wise choice when he chose you as his successor.
Thank you.
Just happy today, and I wanted to share it. For the first time since I've been on this planet, I feel like I fit in. And it's because of this.
An image inducer. You're not the only one who's purchased one recently.
Bought it last week, applied for a job, and I actually got it. All because I look normal for once.
Who decides what's normal? Why should we have to wear these devices that change our appearance so that we can be tolerated? I have these tusks. Why should I hide them?
Well, that's easy for you to say. You just look like a Tolkien fan. You haven't been job hunting for 6 months and then been called a roach by your interviewer.
It's not easy for any of us, young man. Dr. Vose has had his own struggles, but his research in nuclear physics is widely admired, and he's used his platform to become a great advocate for change.
We all must have the courage to be seen.
Access granted.
I don't think he wants you going in there.
This is like Batman level preparation.
I didn't think you needed more of a heads up that the president was arriving.
I got it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I am so late. You know, the crazy thing is, I am always punctual. Always. And of course, the one thing that matters, my new roommate took the keys to my rental car, accidentally, of course, and I had to take the bus. And I spilled coffee all over my skirt, and all I wanted to do was make a good first impression on Miss Danvers. It's you.
It's Kara. And do I know you?
Cara Danvers, wow. I'm Nia.
Oh, Nia. Nia, it's so nice to meet you. Kat says amazing things about you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the coffee's for you.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry.
Thank you. But you're a reporter. You don't have to give me coffee.
Oh, I know. But Miss Grant mentioned you like lattes, so I thought I'd pick one up. She said you were particular about the temperature, so I had it all perfectly planned out. But then my plan went haywire, no thanks to my roommate, and it's probably too cold by now. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. You're me.
I am?
Yeah, totally. It's unnerving.
How am I?
This was a mask of enigma, as usual. It's what keeps me looking young.
What are you doing here?
Funny, I could ask you the same question.
I need to find Mercy and Otis Graves. They worked for Lex. And then for you, Cadmus.
Mercy was Lex's head of security.
And then turned state's evidence on him. Betrayed him. Put him behind bars.
So you think I'd help you as some sort of revenge? I'm not vengeful anymore. My heart's grown several sizes in here.
Says the Grinch who stole Christmas.
A few months ago, when the planet was being terraformed by those other Kryptonians, I was in my cell, under a mattress, hoping the ceiling wouldn't fall and crush me, and I realized I didn't want to die alone. And if I didn't want to die alone, I had to change. So, what do you want to know about the Graves siblings, besides their monsters?
A list of every Cadmus location you think they might be using to...
It's James and the looming indictment. Made me think about my life, how much of it I spent living on an island.
I want to reconnect.
Rebuild the relationships that I've lost. And yes, that does include you. For better or for worse, you're still my mother. Things weren't always rosy, but there were some good times. Even with Lex.
It made me sad when the two of you became enemies. If I were still vengeful, I'd blame Superman for tearing this family apart. Okay, I'm still vengeful.
I don't know if it was all Superman. In my opinion, it was his relationship with Bruno Mannheim that started him down the wrong path.
That miscreant? They were business partners, sure, but Bruno was only in it for the money laundering. It's a shame how he used your brother's business and then dumped him.
I didn't know Bruno laundered money through Luther Corp. Is there anything in my books I need to worry about since you know where all the bodies are buried?
I guess it's time I educated you.
Hi, Sam. That's a smart angle.
That is beyond our control. And yet we carry on. A leader who caves to fear is no leader at all.
I'll alert the Secret Service. The DEO will coordinate with them.
Okay, this was a little bit of a contrived line to me.
You really thought
Of
my
course.
sister would kill me? You think you stopped us tonight, but the fuse was lit, and it's gonna be beautiful.
Everyone's safe here. The president's fine. Did you get him?
To name 5 more shell companies owned by Mannheim. You're the district attorney. Subpoena their books. You'll find enough RICO violations to send Mannheim away for as long as Al Capone.
So does her mother know you played her?
She will soon. Yeah. And your other investigation?
Guardian who?
Pitched her take on the article, and she had a good approach.
Yours was better. You were so passionate when you talked to just me about it. Why'd you shut down?
It was a scary room. James Olsen is the CEO of this incredible media empire. And Mackenzie has more famous friends than Oprah.
Yeah. What really happened when Mackenzie took that article? Why didn't you want to compete?
I guess in the moment, I was afraid to make waves.
Okay. Fear. I get that. Once we catch ourselves, we have to jump right back out there. So, you're afraid to make waves? Okay. Make them anyway.
Assassination attempt at Camp David has revealed that the president is an alien. This confirms what many thought to be the ravings of a fringe group. Experts have authenticated the footage and found no signs of doctoring. The president of the United States is an alien.
The fuse was lit.
United States history can prepare us for this moment. There's no precedent for such earth
Al, is Fiona here? No, she didn't show up for a shift.
clarify the current situation.
Come here. You brought this on yourself.
Who are you?
An agent of liberty.
The doppelganger. Okay, so some things I did like about this episode were, well, one was to point out it wasn't so like ham-fisted in its political views per se. I did like how it led to basically having a conversation between Jean and Kara, which the fact is like, I feel like I kind of relate to it. Her point of view is like, oh, the world's better than it ever has been, and I feel like it's almost kind of like the whole theme of this episode was exploring how I guess feel like as far as progress, in acceptance, political, social, social progress for equality and whatnot. It always seems like, we're always in this cycle of one step forward, 2 steps back. And I felt like I identify with Kara in the sense that, say like Obama's term in office, the fact that we had our first black president who held the presidency for 8 years was like, I never thought that, racism had been abolished or anything like that. I just felt like it was a step in the right direction. Again, the step forward, the 2 steps back would be, Trump administration and, him like kind of like galvanizing all this, bigots and whatnot throughout the country, and realize that this all has been, it's kind of like, kind of like closeted bigots, or so to speak, and just sort of like underlying hatred that, I never realized was still, how much of it was still to what extent it was still under the surface. I feel like that, I relate to Kara in that sense, where it's like she kind of got that wake up call where it's like, improved in some things. I guess some aspects, there was progress in some aspects, and there hasn't and but not in all aspects. And yeah, I mean, being that she's an alien on this planet, it's like the thing is that she's able to like she kind of blend in. So I don't know. It kind of related. It kind of made me think back to people always telling me that because of my complexion that I don't go for the same level of discrimination of some of a black person who's of darker complexion um or just somebody who's kind of like I don't know. I just kind of had friends who were kind of had of Hispanic descent, but were kind of very like a light complexion and very Caucasian looking, and I feel like they wouldn't get the same level of discrimination that I would get had and I have like a more dark complexion or talking about in. I hear those conversations throughout with the Me Too movement or just trying to whether it's the Me Too movement or not, about trying to listen, have this conversation, trying to understand people from different perspectives, whether it's sexual orientation, race, and like I can never, I can never fully understand, let's say like maybe somebody in LGBT, the kind of stuff the LGBT can go through, or they never, or maybe they might not be able to understand some of the stuff that I go through. Like we all have different experiences. We had different forms of prejudice. It's kind of set. It's like trying to start a conversation, try to understand other people's points of view from best they can, just from their own experiences, not just be kind of like closed off to it. And I don't know. It's. I mean, I guess like it's kind of has that app. Like I feel like this episode had kind of gets you thinking about how the themes are applicable to like different social issues, and there are people with like different backgrounds, and it's like it wasn't like ham-fisted about it. It's like it kind of was open for interpretation. So these are just my interpretations from it. I'm just kind of just like spitballing here, and I appreciate it. And this show tends to get a little heavy-handed with its political views, but I liked how it was a little bit more. It felt a little bit more like subtle, like it just kind of presented it as such. Take what it was kind of more of a. Here's some themes, here's some ideas we have and how we feel about it. Interpret it and take from it what you will. Which I thought was a more well executed approach with the political political commentary this show has been doing. And it's always been the show's been taking a page out of X-Men's franchise's approach to prejudice, and I feel like this is one of the more well executed approaches to such similar themes. And the fact that I guess I kind of forgot, maybe it kind of like fell by the wayside. I guess I kind of forgot that James was being indicted for, being. Yeah, I guess he was forced to reveal himself as vigilante in one episode back in late season 3. Lena, and even though she kind of went behind James' back and had to, make a deal with the devil, so to speak, about playing her mom, about getting information about Bruno who people know. Bruno Mannheim is leader of the Intergang and was a member of the Superman's Rogue Gallery. He's a mobster, and just using the information to try to get James from being indicted, but the fact that then the DA played Lena by saying that she still like go after James if he ever goes back on the streets as Guardian, which kind of hints that he probably will have to, like, reluctantly. So at some point, and you saw like Sam Witwer, if you recognize his voice under that mask, as Agent Liberty, and it's clearly got like Mercy Graves involved, and she still has a connection with the Luthers, or history with the Luthers. Yeah, that was kind of and the fact that their whole master plan was just kind of exploiting the president, or exposing her as as an alien. And I guess it kind of figures like there was kind of some foreshadowing to it when it's like she pushed her own Secret Service agent out of the way just to save their life. I was kind of wondering if is anybody gonna notice? Is that gonna have some kind of backlash? But yeah, it's kind of it'll be interesting to see where that storyline goes, to see what kind of dynamic that Alex and Brainiac 5 are gonna have, considering it's kind of he's not like it was, I guess, more like not as like laid back. He's kind of like this uptight, kind of socially awkward, but it's like socially awkward in a way that makes him unique from say like Sheldon Cooper or other characters I've seen on TV. But I don't know. It was just a really well written episode. It kind of thought provoking, and I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff with Nia Null and kind of when her powers are going to manifest, and she's supposed to be a superhero at some point. But overall, it's a good start to the season. What do you guys think of it? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.